All set? Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the Town of Pownell Select Board Meeting, January 8th, 2026 at 6:01 PM. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Board member roll call.
Harold Strohmeyer.
Mike Gardner.
Jamie Percy.
Brian Harris.
We all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the agenda. I think we had an item we needed to add, right?
Yeah, the FY 25 audit review. Discussion and possible action.
Let's put the audit 12A. Please. Does that work for everybody?
Mhm.
And want to make a couple statements before we approve the agenda. I know we have a lot of members from the rescue squad tonight. We're going to, in general public, when we get to the rescue squad, article or agenda item number 9, there's going to be board discussion. So any discussion from anybody about that was going to fall under public comment. Whether it's the first public comment or the last one, it doesn't matter to me. And we'll stay at the 3-minute timeline that we've always had. If we have a bunch of it, we'll stay there. If not, then we can go back and forth. If it becomes an argumentative thing with anybody, we're going to shut it down right there. I don't want to get into an argumentative thing. It's just not, that's not what we'll be here for. Okay, not that I anticipate that, I just want to make it clear that that's what we're looking for. Approve the agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda with the audit added.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Public comment? I'm sorry, another thing, would you just come up to the table, because I think we have a little bit of problem with the microphones. And state your name, please.
I can do that, or we can use the microphone we have here.
Don't want it to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
My name is Lucy Russo. I'm a Pownell resident. My husband last summer was a very sick man. And the rescue squad to me, and I'm sure to most of our community, means a lot. Just as an example, Becky and Danielle, on their own time, came down to take care of my husband for me. But the night that I needed him, or that I needed them, had they not been available at that time, my husband would have passed on September 19th. Danielle saved his life, actually, so that I got 3 more weeks with him. If we don't make sure that they have the money in their budget to keep going, people are gonna lose their lives, and it's just wrong, because you can't place a dollar amount on somebody's life, you know? That's what it means to me. I think that our rescue squad should be taken care of, you know? That was my piece.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else do this first round of public comment, want to speak? Anybody, any hands up, Hannah?
No.
Okay. Approval of minutes. And guess what we're gonna cross off tonight? September 11th. Finally, minutes of September 11th, 2025. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for September 11th.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstain.
Yeah.
Minutes of December 11th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion, questions, additions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Minutes of December 18th, 2025.
So move.
Second.
Any questions? Changes? All those in favor? Accounts payable, December 19th, sorry, 27,117.73.
So move.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Accounts payable, December 24th, 127,356.52.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Accounts payable, January 2nd, 2026, 14,884.08.
So move.
Seconded.
Questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Accounts payable, January 9th, 2026, 39,287.60.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Payroll, December 19th, 2025, 13,795.41.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, corrections? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Payroll, December 24th, 11,879.43.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Payroll, January 2nd, 2026, $14,630.06.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Payroll, January 9th, 2026, 14,853.41.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Updates from town officials.
Have one from Julie Town Clerk. She would like to plan the rabies clinic for March 21st. However, for the last 3 years, she's done it in the old town hall. And because there's been a lot of conversations about use of that building, we just kind of wanted, blessing to still do it up there. On March 21st.
March 21st. Don't see a problem with that.
Works really well because they can come in the front and leave out the back inside.
The flow to it.
It's the board's pleasure.
I'll make a motion that we approve Julie's request.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
That's the only one we have for town officials?
A lot of their updates went in the town report, so.
Yeah, that's fine. Fiscal year 27 general fund budget, continued discussion regarding the Pownell Rescue Squad appropriation request. So, Becky sent this. I'm gonna read this brief outline of their mission, goals, the oncoming year, success and challenges in the current year budget with requested funds. Agency mission, successes, challenges, and goals. Mission. Pownell Rescue Squad is a team of dedicated, professional, and compassionate providers. We provide outstanding patient care to anyone, anytime, or any place to ensure the best possible outcome to improve the health of those in and out of our community. Successes. Transition from a membership board to the formation of an outside board of directors. Remain one of 14 agencies at the CCP level in the state of 95 EMS agencies. Inter-facility transportation contract. 3 regional EMS agencies and SVMC operate under an agreement where EMS provides and is compensated for peak evening coverage for emergency inter-facility transportation. Responded to 878 calls for service in 2025. Only needed a response from mutual aid agencies 5 times in 2025, all of which were due to needing multiple ambulances on scene or because we were already on an emergency call. Provided 24/7, 365 coverage to our community and surrounding areas. Expanded our community education by providing multiple CPR classes. Have multiple providers advancing their certification levels. Attended multiple community events such as Celebrate Pownell Day, block parties, Santa Parade, safety education at the Pownell Elementary School, Pownell tree lighting, and the trunk or treat. Participated in food drives for the local community and adopted multiple children for holiday gifting. Secured a small compensation reimbursement for mutual aid responses to the Bennington Rescue Coverage area starting in July of 2026. Challenges. Recruitment and retention are a constant challenge. At this time, we are close to full staffing. It is difficult to maintain an engaged workforce with inadequate funding and wage pressures. A few examples for entry-level positions as a comparison. Aldi's $19.50 per hour, Starbucks barista $18.44 per hour, new PRS, the Pownell Rescue Squad, EMT $18.50 per hour. Again, these are challenges. We cannot financially afford to offer our employees healthcare benefits, employer retirement match, etc. Financially, our compensation scale is about 20% less than other agencies around here. Healthcare costs continue to rise. As a healthcare provider, current and future expected reductions in insured individuals and families are deeply concerning. Uncompensated treatment in place, example, no transport refusals, etc. Still, only a minority of insurance providers cover non-transport EMS care. EMS is paid by Medicare, the largest of all insurers, only as a transport benefit. Although the same assessment and care provided on a patient encounter that does not result in transport, many insurers will not compensate EMS for this service. About 18% of our emergency call volume is not transported. PRS now bills patients for treatment in place. However, due to the lack of insurance coverage for this service, it is often a patient expense or charged to a care facility when the patients reside in a medically managed environment. Non-collectible care balances. As of July 2025 in Vermont, healthcare entities, including EMS, may attempt to obtain unpaid balances but are prohibited from traditional collection practice, such as credit reporting for medical debt. Vermont ambulance assessment fee. Since 2018, we have to pay a percentage of 8% of collected Vermont income back to the state of Vermont. Increased cost of supplies, maintenance, fuel, repairs, and equipment with an already taxed financial service. Goals and visions for 2026, 2027. Finding sustainable financial support. Find financial support to be able to offer competitive wages to our employees. Expand our community education and community outreach. Apply and obtain grant funding for required equipment such as cardiac monitors and other necessary equipment. Publish a 3-year plan. Attend and participate in more community events. Part 2, finances, January 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025. Income. Insurance deposits, $344,697. SVMC transfer contract, $45,000. Donations, $15,813 for a total net income of $405,510. Expenses, insurance, workman's comp, ambulance facility, $27,422. Ambulance, parts, payments, fuel, $48,633. Billing, $26,295. Building, grounds, and utilities, $19,310. Medical supplies, $20,815. Payroll, $456,349 for a total net expense of $598,824. Net income is $405,510. Net expense $598,824. Net profit and loss was a negative $193,314. The 2026 allocation, which is income received in 2025 from the town of Pownell, is $150,000. Net profit or loss, which is a loss of $43,314. Now, this isn't in there. I just want to be clear. That's for the calendar year of January 1 through December 31st, 2025, as if anybody were reporting it on their taxes. I just want to make sure that's clear. I knew that, and most everybody there. I just want to make sure everyone knows that's clear. Part 3, how funds will be used to support the Pownell community. These funds will help to directly support the care for Pownell residents. The amount of uncompensated care is increasing due to changes at the federal government level, while costs continue to increase. We're still recovering from the effects on Medicare funding from the federal government shutdown, which reduced cash flows. The number of self-pay patients will increase as individuals and families lose Medicaid benefits or are unable to afford marketplace insurance due to loss of financial or federal subsidies with the current federal budget The effects are anticipated to start early of 2026. This puts some of the most vulnerable individuals and families at risk. They are also most likely to be unable to pay for their EMS care. For example, currently 19% of our revenue comes from Medicaid. As insurance coverage is difficult to obtain or maintain, the use of safety net services like panel rescue and emergency departments most likely will increase since access to emergency care is guaranteed. Part 4, important notes. Without sustained and increased funding, PRS, Panel Rescue Squad, faces risks to staffing stability, response capability, and long-term service availability. Rising operational costs and stagnant reimbursements exacerbate these challenges. Ambulance replacement will be needed in 1 to 3 years, approximately $200,000 to $250,000. Cardiac monitor replacement is needed in 0 to 3 years, approximately $120,000. Mutual aid responses help fill regional EMS gaps while increasing call volume and supporting revenue generation. This aging demographic increases demand for EMS services related to medical emergencies, falls, and chronic health conditions. Reliable advanced EMS coverage is essential to community health, safety, and resilience. Municipal funding represents 23% of Panel Rescue Squad's revenue to maintain operations, which has been consistent over the last several fiscal years. Without an increase, we face serious financial implications and the risk for lack of EMS coverage is high. Board have any questions on that? I'm pretty sure it's fairly self-explanatory. Right? I'm gonna open up to the board for just general or continued discussion on the request for $150,000 from the Panel Rescue, additional $150,000. Would you have any comments? All right, I'll start it. I usually don't. That's fine.
Trying to think of it.
So I don't think there's a single board member sitting here that doesn't agree with Panel Rescue Squad that we need the rescue squad in town. I want to start out by saying that for sure. I think we agree with every resident that lives here that we need the rescue squad. I think a last minute 100% increase was a little bit tough to swallow, and I know you had to start. Oh, wait a minute.
I don't know.
I'm kind of glad it wasn't the rescue squad that had to go.
Yeah.
Would have proven the point why they need the
No,
money.
I get it, I get it. So that's why I want to kind of move it along. You guys may be out there, and I don't know if you have staffing at the squad or if everybody's here, so that's what I figured back. The last minute request was a little bit tough for us to sit here and kind of figure out how we were gonna go, and I understand there had to be a starting point, right? I totally get that. And some of the criteria, obviously, that we had asked for months ago, the board is now, it looks like you've got a board or you're right in the process. Do you have a board now or?
Two of them are sitting right here.
Okay, all right, perfect. So, my idea, because I don't want to beat a dead horse and I don't want to be all night on it. My idea is to approve, my idea is to give the rescue squad their $43,000 short by your numbers, give or take. Is that for the next year was 43,600 or something like that?
Yeah, I think.
It's 43 and change.
From what that,
They were short, 193,000.
So the issue with that's.
Well, so we've already budgeted $150,000 for the rescue squad. So you're gonna get that 150.
Yeah.
That was already budgeted.
right,
My idea would be to give them another $50,000 And that brings them to $200,000 from the town on our budget. And, that should get them through the next year, given your numbers. Hopefully things stay the same, but that's a crapshoot. We all know that, right? And then what I'd really like to see for the next board would be, because we talked about it and you already have it in your mission statement here, is that 3-year plan or, you know, that's a great starting point. And having a board.
Putting it all together.
Additional grant applications as well. Like I also.
Yeah, we've already applied for one, but it's specific equipment and it's not like, it's not.
Yeah, I found a more general one that I'm happy to share with you. I was doing some research today, so if we can stay in contact, I'd be more than happy to help with that.
That would be, that's my suggestion. And I appreciate everyone being here and all the time invested in whatever you guys have done, so. I don't know how the board feels, but that's my feeling.
Question, we asked about your new board, and I know you've been working on that. Are you saying that your new board is all internal to the rescue squad, or you're
No.
not saying?
It's an outside board of directors.
They just transitioned from internal
Right,
board
Yep.
to the external. board.
Perfect, okay. And you don't have any of those external board members here tonight?
Yes, like I said,
Okay.
appointed to.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Oh.
Class back.
I know, right? Thank you. Eye doctor. Thank you. Well, I would like to hear from any of your new board members that like want to offer anything. I do, but and I hear what you're saying. And I also tend to agree with you. I would love to have $300,000. I don't know where we're gonna get the additional.
Oh, and I understand that I'm not trying to deplete the town, but
Yeah.
in order for us to provide these services,
Yep.
I'm a taxpayer here. I don't,
Great.
the last thing we want to do is cause any more financial struggles to the town that we know already has financial struggles.
Yeah.
I mean, I can add that, you know, what we're talking about is funding starting in 2027, right? And I suppose the best case scenario from our perspective is that, call on it's,
Can you state your name? Sorry.
my name is Paul Piper, and I'm actually the chairperson.
Mhm.
So, our best case scenario is that call volume in 2026 picks up a little bit from where we were in 2025. You know, we've got, I think, a more solid footing in terms of, we have full crew people now, so the labor expense should be a little bit lower for the first part of 2026 than it was for the same period in 2025. So there's some things that are I think helping us. That, you know, will hopefully make 2026 a little bit easier of a year, but
She's always been really fixated on.
last time that what we have in 2026, what we have at this moment is about 9 months of funding. So our best case, like I said, is that 2027 funding kicks in November, and we have 1 month of the applicants left this year. That's the best case scenario, and then we can come back hopefully earlier in the process next time and have a more discussion about people's. But I think at this point, our feeling is that anything that this board is going to do to help it is not only necessary, it's much appreciated.
Well, I think it's necessary.
Yeah.
From your numbers, I don't wanna. From the numbers that you presented to this board, that $50,000 is necessary for you to run another calendar year. Cause you run calendar year, we run fiscal, but it's still a year's a year. Right. Right. So you need $50,000 to sustain another year of service. And my feeling is that I think we're on the right track all the way through it. We're gonna, and that, when I say we, I mean the town is not just the select board. The town is gonna see a business plan from Pownell Rescue by the time we come next budget season to the next board. The town of Pownell is gonna see a business plan, right? Now, not everyone's gonna agree with that business plan, let's face it, because it's just not the way it is. But it's gonna be a business plan. And if somebody wants to get it jumping and help, I'm sure you're gonna say, help us, right? You're not gonna tell anybody not to help. So that's a huge, to me, that's a huge upgrade, right? We've got a mission, we've got a board of directors, some things that we've asked for. So I think we're on the right trail.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing that I'll add to that is that there's more than one way to support your local rescue squad. It doesn't have to be money, you know. What we need is time as well. So I would put the deal around, you know, we have a lot of the rescue squad here with us tonight, but for those of us that are here, maybe listening online and any other source that they may get information. If you're interested or you have the skills, you know where to find us. You know, we're willing to train and you know, you want to join us on a volunteer basis, we reach out.
I have something. So that amount does not include all the hours that were volunteered as well. So that was about, we have about 1,600 hours, which would be about $50,000.
I get it back.
I'm just,
Right.
Right, and I appreciate that. And like I said, I didn't want to get into a whole debate and we haven't, right? We've done very well with that. Does the board have any more discussion amongst ourselves?
Well, I will have a couple of questions to them. If one of the firefighters go down on a scene, you guys respond, do you charge the fire department? Okay, that needs to be put out there too.
Well, is that a yes?
no, we don't.
Oh, okay.
She said no, and
Well, yeah, but the people can't see Becky right now, so I just want to make,
Well,
I could see it back. I just want to make sure that everyone understands that the Pownell Rescue Squad does not charge other emergency service responders
If it wasn't in that though.
if it was in the event, an emergency scene.
of our calls. Greatly appreciated. And how often do you guys do audits, the outside audits?
So we would like to do one, but it's just not in the last quote we got was 10 grand to do one.
So it's been a while since you had one of them too. So I think the important thing is, I think, because you take federal money, I think you're supposed to do them every so often. I don't know what the frequency of that is off the top of my head. But nothing, I'm not saying anything against. Yes.
Federal money.
You just state your name, please. I don't know.
Federal money is, there's a base before they have to do an audit because of federal money.
Okay, thank you.
It's the same for the town.
That's what the other question I was gonna have. I knew 43,000 was basically to break even. I didn't really see much as far as a contingency or whatever in there. If there was something else to happen.
So what we're talking.
The way you have, if we were to give you the 50,000, what kind? I'd only given you a 7,000 contingency.
So the
Or do you have
50,000 I'm
something?
talking about, and that's money in 2027.
Mhm.
That number would get us our fund balances back roughly where they were at the beginning of 2025. So by the time that $50,000 kicks in, we're gonna have operated for all of 2026.
Mhm.
And again, we're not a profitable operation, that's not likely to change. So the situation, when we come back to this board in November or whenever we choose to invite us back to talk about this, the fund balance situation from our perspective is going to be considerably less than it is right now. But to that end, yes, if you were to give us that $50,000 today as part of the 2026 appropriation, our fund balance would be, generally speaking, where it was. But again, that's not what we're talking about. So
Mhm.
just not into things, but
No, that's what I was looking for. But
Anything else from the board?
I would like to stay in closer contact throughout the year, as opposed to just like getting closer to budget time. Like you said, there are multiple ways that people in this community can continue to support. I mean, obviously financial is the very top of the list. That's what you need because you know how to do what you're doing and you know how to do your job well. But I think it would be helpful. We could like like no timeline on this, we could just get some updates on grants, what's successful, what's not, or is there additional, like, how do we help, like, information from the town that could help you with grants, that sort of thing, like, how do we help step in and partner with you in that?
I think our sincere hope is that it's a partnership between the rescue squad and the sport, so we're happy to come back as often as you want us to.
So I think that's a great idea. Jeannie, are you looking for like a quarterly or biannual?
I think a quarterly could be helpful, like,
So we could certainly set up a schedule so that at least, I guess, I think it's a great point. So because there's some variables on your income. We all know that. We all agree with that there's some variables on some of the outside income from Medicaid and whatever else, right? So at the 6-month meeting, we could do one, if we do one every quarter, so the second quarter that we do it, we would know, and you would know where you kind of stand for that first 6 months out of the year. I think it'd be better for everybody.
Yeah.
Right?
There'd be no surprises then.
Well, it's gonna give everybody a pretty good idea of where we all stand, the town stands with what's going on. Right, and you guys as an organization.
And if you guys find grants that you think that we qualify for, please send them. We're always looking. Yep.
I think it's a great idea. I think that we can set that up quarterly. An invitation every quarter without any trouble. We'll take care of sending out the invitation and bring you guys in. All right? It's a great idea.
Just to reiterate, their budget line is going to be what? Exactly. It was 150. You're adding 50.
We need a motion on the floor to do
Make
it.
a motion, we add $50,000 to the line item.
For a total of $200,000.
$100,000.
Okay, I want to make sure the total part is in there as well. Is there any more board discussion? Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
So you're gonna get another 50,000 added to our budget for, which will be after July 1, after we collect taxes in basically November.
Yes, so, and if something wants to come up or. Working thereof. Usually it takes until middle October, end of October to have enough cash flow to cover certain things, so.
Well, I think that's, so I think that's where the quarterly
And
meetings
that's where those meetings.
are gonna be incredibly helpful. So we come here in July or whatever the quarter is, and we find out that things aren't going as well as anticipated, then it gives us an opportunity as a board, or the next board gives them an opportunity to say, okay, maybe, like you said, Ellen, maybe we can come up with a portion of the money to keep you guys going, okay? And I think that's definitely an option. All right, I'm gonna put that out there. It's definitely an option that the next board can certainly, entertain.
Because it is tracked in our account system, so we would know.
We would know, exactly.
How much they have.
Right, exactly. So I think that's a definite option. I think a quarterly meeting is gonna be incredibly helpful for all of us to see where everything is and where we all stand.
I'd say too, I agree that it was a bit of a surprise, the 300,000, that's not the number I was necessarily expecting either. But I do appreciate as an organization asking, ask for what you actually want. Like, that's, and hopefully we can find a way to get there. But so, yeah, I do appreciate that.
For sure.
Yes.
Absolutely. Like I said, I think it was a starting point, this conversation we had at the last, your presentation. You have to start somewhere. Right? Might as well start high. Or with what you need. Right? Beck, could you just introduce your board members?
Sure. This is Paul Fangburn. He is our board chair. This is Kevin Davis. He is our treasurer. And Bentley Munsell, who couldn't make it tonight, is our secretary. And we're still looking to add one or two more people to our board, so if anyone, ways to help out is.
Okay,
Thank you.
great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your service and thanks. Appreciate it. See you, Kevin.
Thank you, guys. Good evening.
Okay.
No problem. Discussion with the Conservation Commission members regarding climate resiliency workshop. Fundraising mission statement, member responsibilities, document discussion and possible action.
Lots of things. Who wants to go first? Do you want to come to the table?
Yeah, could you come on the table? That would be great. Like,
Sure.
people can see you and they feel you.
Yeah, kind of. Hold the chair up on one of the ends.
Well, then people can hear better and see better and the whole. Okay, who wants to start?
Want me to start?
Again.
They can. I will start.
Yeah, if you want, yeah.
To them real quick. So, let's see. Nate had sent me what the Conservation Commission has been working on. One of their first big things that they have done, or that was recommended to them, was to come up with a mission statement and members' responsibilities. Which I feel like they did a really great job at. So their mission statement is: the mission of the Pownell Conservation Commission is to foster a community-driven approach to preserving and enhancing our town's rural beauty, wildlife habitat, and historical and cultural assets in harmony with regional conservation priorities. I thought that was very
Okay.
appropriate and well said. And then their member responsibilities are pretty normal things like attending the meetings regularly, a minimum of 75% annually. Review meeting materials, including the minutes and agendas, participate actively and respectfully in discussions, follow up on agreed actions, act in accordance with Vermont open meeting law, be engaged in leading at least one project, provide monthly updates, and make an effort to attend volunteer opportunities, which these are great. That was a great list. And then the chair and vice chair responsibilities, just to elaborate a little more, collaborate with one another to decide how the following responsibilities will be divided or shared. Share a draft agenda and request member input for 2 weeks before the meeting. Schedule and facilitate meetings and votes, serve as a primary contact and spokesperson, facilitate member recruitment and retention, provide orientation and support for new members, and assist on grant applications. So before we added the stuff to the website, we just wanted the board's blessing and approval of what they have developed.
I'll just add, this was, we sort of all got together and read the ABCC Association Vermont Conservation Commission's handbook and had a really good discussion about it over the course of 2 meetings. And a lot of these were suggestions from the handbook. And then the mission statement was a really great sort of collaborative process. We did ranked choice voting, and I think we're all pretty happy with where we came out. And we will, occasionally take a look at these and sort of review them and make changes that we need to. So, yeah, we just wanted to kind of share this with the greater public in hopes to kind of inspire people to, join commissions in general and show them what we're doing.
I think you guys did a great job. I think you didn't try to reinvent the wheel. Right? You went to some other resources that were already out there. And then you refined them to what Pownell should be, right? At least in my mind, and what the Pownell Conservation Commission mission statement should be. So I think you did a great job with that by not trying to reinvent the wheel, but adjusting it accordingly to what needs to happen for this and for this conservation commission. So I think that's a great job.
Yeah.
Anybody have anything else?
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
So you're looking to put up on the website, is that what the?
Yeah, I was gonna add it to their section under the board commissions.
I don't think we have to vote on that. I think we could just put it on.
Okay.
I mean, we can vote on it if you guys want to, but.
As long as you guys are cool with it, we're
I
fine.
think it was great. But like I said, sometimes I think people try to reinvent that wheel or try to make, towns or areas what they really aren't, or what they kind of, want them. And I think I think you did a great job on not doing that. By really defining the Conservation Commission to the town. Thanks, great. Thank you.
Resiliency workshop next?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Do you want me to?
Do you want to read it? Do you want me to read it? Either way. Yeah.
Is this from?
I did.
So this is from Concom. Ashley may be zoomed in. So Ashley Farrington, our Concom member, also works with the BCCP Bennington County Conservation District. And so she wrote a grant with the Conservation District for this program. And well, yeah, I guess I'll let you read it and then you can kind of, this hopefully will answer any questions about sort of the basics of what we're hoping to do.
And the board has this, but I'll read it so the public knows what we're referencing. Dear members of the select board, with your permission, support, and hopefully participation, the Conservation Commission would like to host a community resilience workshop in Powell, facilitated by the Bennington County Conservation District this spring, sometime in March or April. We believe this event will provide essential tools, information, and connections that will strengthen our town's ability to prepare for, respond to, and recover from the impacts of climate change. Any costs associated with the event will be covered by grant funding secured by Ashley Farrington, our newest Concom member, through BCCD, where she also volunteers. The workshop will support Powell by providing technical assistance for improving emergency management planning, create pathways for stronger coordination among municipal staff, local organizations, and residents, identify local vulnerabilities, assets, and clear priorities for future resilience, offering access to the Resilience Hub Toolkit for continued project development. The Conservation Commission will assist the BCCD with outreach, communication, and engagement leading up to the workshop, with the goal of including as many community members and town volunteers as possible, as well as our emergency response coordinator, members of the fire department, water and sewer district, and any interested parties from surrounding towns in our county. Our point person for this project will be Ashley Farrington, who also works with the Bennington County Conservation District. We believe this initiative will play an important role in ensuring a safer, healthier, and more resilient future for the people of Pownell. Sincerely, the members of the Pownell Conservation Commission.
I'll just add one thing to that, which was that in just talking with Ashley, she said, she really wants to make sure that we try and include folks from other communities because there's a real benefit for this kind of cross-pollination. Because I think a lot of the sort of small rural communities around here are probably struggling with a lot of the same issues. So this is a great sort of opportunity for us to kind of meet our counterparts and sort of all collaborate on emergency response stuff.
I personally think it's incredibly smart and forward thinking. I really like this a lot. And full disclosure, as someone on the board for BCCD, I know the rate of success with grants. And so the fact that it's also not going to cost the town anything, it looks like just a net benefit. And I also think this is the kind of thing that you're inviting the public to be involved as well, right?
Definitely.
Working, like you said, the cross-pollination. I would like to see even more of this. I appreciate it.
Is Ashley on Zoom? No, she isn't. Okay. I just wanted to make sure if she was right. She probably can.
Just like the board's blessing, I'm moving ahead and any.
I'll entertain a motion
To bless it.
give the Conservation Commission, permission to fix the this resiliency workshop.
I would second that motion. And close.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Thank you.
My turn? Sweet.
I'm like, looking at this, please.
Fundraiser. Concom, we're all trying to come up with ideas for fundraising. So a while ago, I was listening to a radio show and they were discussing an event over in New York called Landscapes for Land Sakes. This event in New York has artists donate paintings and they're auctioned off to raise money to preserve farmlands and forested areas. As a new member of the Conservation Commission, I thought this would be an incredible idea that could be utilized to raise funds for the Conservation Commission. The event that I'm proposing would be similar to the format of Landscapes for Land Sakes, but I would ask Pownell artists and artisans for any piece of work they would like to donate for the event, not just paintings. This town is full of people who create all kinds of wonderful things, and I believe this type of exposure could lead to people wanting to order and buy locally. The vision I have for this event is to have it set up in an area with enough room for not only the art to be displayed, but to have the artists and artisans present nearby to answer any patron questions and possibly take orders should someone decide to use their services. I believe the best approach for this auction itself would be that of a silent auction. Each person would donate a piece, would also include a monetary value to their donation to show its value. Each piece will be given a minimum starting bid, and there will be an incremental increases on each item. At the end of the event, the highest bidder will win the item. Originally, this idea was to raise money for a general line item fund for the Conservation Commission. So when projects came up for us that involved the need of money, it would be taken care of. However, after spending time working on Clayton Park this past fall, I noticed that the bats were flying along the river and eating insects. As a fisherman, I love the idea of Mother Nature taking care of mosquitoes. So I started looking into how to promote and encourage the bats to the river. After much homework, I found out that the state of Vermont has 5 out of 6 cave bat species that are now listed as threatened and endangered. White nose syndrome is a devastating fungal disease that has decimated the bat population in Vermont. The fungal disease attacks bats while they hibernate and causes them to awaken prematurely, depleting their fat reserves, and then die to exposure and starvation. The best way to help the current bat population is to have bat houses installed around the town. I have been in contact with Alyssa Bennett, the small mammal biologist for the state of Vermont Fish and Wildlife, and the current Vermont bat population, and how we, the town of Pownell, can help, and she recommended installing bat houses around town. The funding brought in from this event would either go to buying prefabricated bat houses or the supplies to build them ourselves. Ideally, the bat houses will go to Pownell residents who are willing to install them on their buildings, homes, barns, or garages, and install them 15 to 20 feet on poles freestanding. There are different bat houses for different scenarios for the willing residents. Those that live within a quarter mile of a water source, river, stream, or pond would be able to get up to a 4-chamber family style box that females can raise pups in. Those who did not only need a 2-chamber bat house for bachelor groups that roam the vicinity. By installing bat houses around Pownell, we provide critical roosting sites for bats in our area and benefit from their insect catching abilities. One single little brown bat can catch up to 1,200 mosquitoes in a single hour. Just imagine how many mosquitoes would disappear around your house if you had a full bat house installed in your area. Conservation to me means doing all I can for Pownell's wildlife, and what better way to start off by helping one of our most vulnerable species that we already live with.
I think, if I could add, I think this panel would be the first in the state to do this, would they? Yeah. So I think that's, highlights the good of
And every group that I've been in contact with is all up north. Everybody's in Northeast Kingdom, Montpelier. There's nobody in Southern Vermont even trying to do this. So I'd like to start off, be the Kickstarter in Vermont.
I like the way that you're addressing the need for fundraising. I think that's a really cool idea.
I think I like the location for the fundraiser. I mean, yeah.
We need a bigger space.
Yeah.
Something like this would probably be cool, or the elementary school would probably work out real good too, if that was a possibility. But right now, I'm just open for suggestions on everything.
Yeah. Oh, I think as someone who's used bat houses on their property for a long time, actually need to get them up here, but I love them. It's always been beneficial. And I like the fact that we would be the first in Southern Vermont to do this.
I think it's an incredible idea. There's so many positive things that we're looking at here. So we're looking at helping out the environment, right? And that's Conservation Commission.
Yeah.
Right? That's basically what we were looking for when we formed the conservation. At least I was, things like that, right? So we're addressing that. We're addressing the endangerment or potential extinction here, at least, of some native species, right?
Yep.
Another win, right? There's multiple wins. You're funding this through a fundraiser, so there's no tax dollars involved. There's another win. We're exposing. You're absolutely right, Leonard. There's a lot of artists and artisans in this town. Say nothing about the general area when you can go to Williamstown or Stanford or Bennington or Shasberry or whatever. There's a lot of people out there that do little, it's not just paintings, there's a lot of different things.
Yep.
I mean, you do one yourself. So there's another win because now we expose people who, excuse me, have their home-based business. It gives them exposure kind of for free. And that's what are we trying to build? We're trying to build economics within our own community, not just Pownell. What better way to do that than expose them for free?
Yeah.
And get it out there. So there's another, it's just a huge win. I don't see a negative at all. I just see a lot of major wins in the whole project.
It's total community.
The win is just huge here, as far as I'm concerned. And it may not be the first year, it may not be what is anticipated.
No, but this is something we could do every year and
Build on and different, we certainly could build on this. For different products, different things, right? I love the idea. I think it's incredible.
I think we can have some fun too. I can see some reporter, Bennington Banner, whatever, saying Pownell is putting out a bat signal.
Yeah. Yeah, Batman.
I'm too big to fit in the Batman suit.
I think we need board approval on that.
Yeah, motion to go ahead and.
Get started.
I'll second that motion. Any more discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Incredible.
Outstanding.
Yeah, we really appreciate your support with all this stuff. Thank you.
Thanks for helping.
Yeah. Thanks for all your hard work. Yeah. Thanks for all that. That's incredible. Glasses in on? Highway truck purchase loan discussion and possible action.
It's been discussed, a few different times, but we did get the state loan with a low interest. 2%, so they're going to give us 2%, so M&P had approved us.
Can't see the chat.
210,000. Only going to draw the 60 that is remaining. So we just need to sign off on these. We need board approval in the minutes and for you to sign.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? The motion is to approve this, loan from the state for 2% highway truck. purchase.
No, we've got that. It's the 60,000.
60,000, sorry.
M&T line of credit.
M&T line of credit, and we're
Sorry.
going for the 60,000.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Everybody have to sign that, or is that the chair?
Majority. On all the different spots, please.
So I'm not sure that actually my last motion, was very clear, but that motion was. It's like, we need to do that, 'cause I actually didn't state.
So a motion to move forward with the state loan at
No,
2%.
no, she's talking about the county.
So I'm not sure that was as clear, like.
Oh, for the fund.
Yeah, my motion was choose.
Motion to allow them to get started. You said get started, but didn't even say
To get
some cons.
So we just had a conservation commission to hold their fundraiser, for the back project.
There we go.
Right.
I'm assuming that.
That's my motion.
I'll second that addition of verbiage.
Yeah, any more discussion on that? Clarification? All those in favor?
Aye.
No, it's fine. Catch. You never know. Somebody could. BCRC request for executive assistance participation umbrella steering committee discussion and possible action.
So this was an email I received from Jim Henderson at the DCRC requesting my participation in the brownfield redevelopment program. I had actually expected to get this from him a while ago because he was really hoping to get me involved. But since it's not expressly on my job description that I participate in the steering committee like that, I just sort of wanted the board to. Is that nothing more again now?
He resists.
Permission to move forward.
Yeah, so if, can I go and say it?
That would be.
Is this something you want to do? Are you going to be able to?
And I have the time.
Okay.
But, so is there a particular, so I went back and then I read.
Yeah.
What he said, that was really helpful. So, and I know that there, if everybody's open to make recommendations and suggestions like that, is there a property that has already been considered or?
If the umbrella redevelopment program would look at all of the property, not just one property. It's the program that deals with all of the property.
It's the brownfield, it's
It's
for
the
brownfield.
brownfield program.
And
So it's not one particular property, it's
Right.
all of the
would be
properties.
comprehensive then?
As they become identified, then, and they go into the brownfields. That's part of the whole process of cleanup and then redevelop.
And it's, but help making decisions with the process of it.
Right.
And the administration pieces of it, I believe.
Would that help? Would part of that decision-making process be like the priority?
Bless you.
Because there's no.
No,
I don't
No.
know.
Okay.
that would be tough, that would be steering committee discussing possible actions. I don't think it's gonna be deciding that this project is over that project, because I think those decisions are not made on the county level.
And he said things like we'd be choosing like the RFP, we'd be putting out RFPs for environmental specialists. We'd be making decisions on what contract for children and things like that.
So my question is, and I see your enthusiasm for it, I love it, and I also understand as someone who at times overextends. It's like, I mean, that's what I'm thinking, like, is it? I hear that and I want to support that. Also, do you actually have the time? Do you feel like you have the time to be able to do that? Because you all are carrying quite a bit. You have a limited number of employees per town. You're carrying a lot. And what I'm wondering is, would it be helpful to bring someone else to another committee in for that? Or I want to hear your perspective. I mean, this would be like really good, and I want to do it like looking at your total output now. Do you feel like you can?
Yeah, I feel like I can.
It was an invitation.
It was an invitation. I
It was an
decided
invitation.
I don't want to do it, but could you take so and so? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I spoke to Jim at a conference I went to up north, and that's where we first met. And I think the project management of the town forest board grant is a big part of why they asked me to participate.
Did he happen to give you an estimate on like how many hours, week, a
It
month?
said not a huge time commitment.
So my guess is this time commitment is gonna be, project dependent. Right, if there's not a lot of projects, she's not gonna have to put in a bus time, or just one project. I would think that if just knowing Tara, knowing what she's, how she handles things, if she found that, and correct me if I'm wrong, if she found that it was too time consuming and she wasn't able to handle what was going on, she'd come back to the board and say, hey, look, I can't do this because it's outside, it's taking up too much time. I'm not performing up to task.
Yeah.
I believe you would come to the board and say exactly that, and then the board can sort of.
A question, he's not asked. Is he asking you on behalf of being a executive assistant or as you?
That's what I was
I
wondering.
need to separate the two. It was sent, but it was sent to my work email. So
Okay, that's fine, I'm just.
Probably as executive assistant.
All right.
Could you get clarification from him? Not that we have to hold it.
Because it's
Let's
just private,
just-
then I don't need board approval. I can just
I'm
participate as a private
You
citizen.
can have our blessing.
Yes, I mean.
Want to vote on it? Okay.
I don't know.
I make a motion that we give Tara our blessing or permission, however it will be, to participate in the Brella Steering Committee discussions and possible action. Oh, we are doing the discussion.
I wanna caution you a little bit, Carl, before we get a second on that motion. We've been bit in the past by giving blessings. Okay.
Somebody needed to come up and say something, so.
I agree.
Okay.
I
well,
agree.
we-
And the one reason I'm being a little bit critical is because we have had that trouble in the past.
So you reword it for me.
I would say that the board appoints the executive assistant or agrees with the executive assistant's participation.
I think that sounds better.
Right.
Because we're not pointing her to
We
do.
agree,
We're
we agree
with
with having
her
our
executive
executive
assistant
assistant.
to go on the board.
I just don't wanna get in that same situation.
That's fine,
Too much
but-
power over somebody says, oh, you gave her your blessing, what does that mean?
Right, and I agree, right, we have fun with that, but also, I mean, just as a point of discussion. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not convinced you need our permission. Like, I hear that he's
If
to your
if
work.
it's my work email, if I had responded and said, Jim, please send this to my personal email, I wanna do this as a private citizen. That would have been the way to address that, I think. But I didn't do that, I want to be able to participate as executive assistant from the town hall.
Be transparent.
Exactly, and with the public, because it's been an issue in the past, I don't.
That's why I don't wanna have the blessing word in there, I wanna have, we agree to have our executive assistant, participate.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? All those in favor? The audit. Fiscal year 25, right?
So this is in the archive for the public to view and hit play, and I forwarded it all to you. Previously, so you can review, there were no significant findings, concerns. So I'm hopeful that we can sign off on a management letter, which would mean we will have audited numbers for our town report for the first time in.
Forever.
3 or 4 years.
At least.
At least.
Well, can you answer the question? For me, or clarify the one highlighted area on page 31 in the audit?
I needed dates changed, changed them this morning.
That's, okay, so that's exactly what I thought, but I wanna make sure that well, because this audit is published.
Yep.
And it should be. Or will be available before the town meeting. I just want everyone to know that highlighted area on page 31 is because of a date change.
And right now, it's labeled draft, it's clearly a draft in the archive, but when it's updated, and those dates are updated, it'll be a final audit, but they need the management letter.
So I just wanna make sure that's exactly what I thought, but I just wanna make sure. And I wanna make sure everyone knows that it was just because of the wrong date.
Make a motion that we. The management letter for the audit.
Approve the draft. Fiscal year
Approve it.
25 audit.
I'll second that.
Any more discussion? All those in favor? Select board orientation discussion.
This is just an idea I had, to sort of get everybody informed when they come onto the board, or just as reminders when they continue on the board. So in March, the idea would be to just sort of have an orientation that is Pownell specific to the select board, so it includes select board things, the statutes and OML, open meeting law and all that stuff. But it would also include like Pownell specific things like job descriptions and ordinances, and it would really just be like a file that's put together. And maybe we have like some sort of training meeting, but I think it would be really helpful, especially for new members, to have an informational packet or something to reference that really just has all things Pownell in it.
I think that is absolutely necessary. I think it's an excellent idea. I think it needs to be more than just a packet. I think there needs to be an afternoon session. If you're going to run for select board, give up half of your Saturday. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because what I was saying is, I'm a select board member, I didn't realize, like, when I was on the select board, like, I can, like, I don't know, talk about this now, but like, you're actually on 4 boards.
Yes.
Right? And so I've learned that sense, but there are so many things I think that, yes, particularly for new board members, it's easy because things run fairly smoothly around here for something that just wouldn't fall through. And it's like, oh yeah, there's that thing that you needed.
Yeah.
So I love this idea.
Even email can be tricky to set up,
Email
figuring out, or the rules of the email and just talking all of that sort of stuff out. I think would be really beneficial.
So I know that we've got a lot of documentation already, and there are some things that have been helpful, like, and I received Do you have this in any sort of order yet? Because it would be great. I would love to work with you on that.
Yeah, I'd like to help. I do not have it in order yet. After I get the town report done, then I'll start
Right.
on that. So it should be pretty much done by the time election happens.
Oh, I love it. I think it's great.
I think it's a great idea. When I came onto the board, you come in totally blind and you don't, you really, other than following meetings and whatever, but you don't know the ins and outs, so to speak, of things that are being worked on. And
Or how the government, your local government works.
Right, or you might go to an abatement meeting or one of those meetings that you're not at all the time and you don't know the regular process or
Exactly.
penalties and those things that.
Yeah, so they have any offer training for that.
Exactly, like all of those things are new, brand new.
Or do we need to do a vote on this?
I don't think
Or
so,
can we
I just more or less wanted to.
There's one of the things you'll find out.
Yeah, I'm gonna start working on it, and if you have ideas or suggestions,
Okay.
I mean, email, please.
No, yeah, they've changed that for, it's annual now for all the trainings anyways, right?
The OML, yeah.
Yes. Something the legislature changed last year.
Yeah, there's definitely some required and then some is just informational.
Okay. Public comment. Anybody in the audience have any public comment? Usually go there first.
Nice to have a live audience.
It is? Okay. Hannah? Okay.
I'm sorry, I had my hand up.
Actually, yes, at the Conservative Day, surprise for your house.
Okay, Jim.
Well, thank you very much. First of all, I want to just give my appreciation to the board, to the discussion that happened tonight. I know it was a big decision, and I think the best outcome had come. I don't want anyone to think that I personally was against the rescue squad at all. I think they're a very important part of our town. I also just want to put an acknowledgement out to our fire department who have been out on many calls in this past week. And I really appreciate what they're doing. I do have a problem. I just want to make sure that eventually down the road, the fire department may not be compensated what they really do for us. But if it is something that might come down the road, that they are a paid volunteer or paid, I just want to make sure the town's prepared for that whole aspect. There were suggestions out there of what it's going to affect our taxes. There was someone that kind of mentioned, why do we spend so much for the sheriff's department? No one bats an eye. There is on the archives a whole list of invoices. I personally found it very, very, very curious as to why so much time that we may be paying is spent with them in their office doing paperwork. So I would hope that this board might approach the sheriff's department to find out why so much is being paid for in-house paperwork versus patrol of the department. And the last thing is, I just appreciate what you guys are doing. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Jeff, you just state your name, please.
Yeah, Jeff Miller, Assistant Chief of Pownell Valley Fire Department. I just want to throw that out there, that there has been no talk, and there will be no talk of us pivoting to paid in any way as far as either the fire departments go. We are volunteer, always have been, always will be. We are not in the same situation as the rescue squad. We're not in the same boat at all. And we need to support that as best as we can. We need to support everything as best as we can and lean on the people that know what they're doing. Other than that, I've got nothing.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Any more hands up? Hannah?
Jim's hands up, I don't know if he has an additional.
Yeah, I don't want to go back and forth with that. I think we're good there. I appreciate it, Jim, but I don't wanna get into a back and forth, I don't know. I mean, I think Jim's point was, just so that we don't go into a back and forth there, I believe Jim's point was, that the select board and future select boards should possibly prepare for that day if it ever were to come out or were to ever happen. I believe that's his point. Don't want to speak for him, but I'm not going to go into a back and forth either. So
It wasn't argument.
I understand, Jeff, and I understand your point that, you know, to clear that.
Discussion online somewhere that somebody says takes the wrong way.
Exactly, because that's exactly what happens, is somebody takes things the wrong way. But like I said, I don't believe that was Jim's point.
I don't either.
Yeah, so I just want to,
Appreciate your public comment though,
for sure,
very much so.
absolutely, clarification is awesome. So, no other public comment? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.